Today, drama down the garden. Oh my God. Okay.
There's no root.
Mum, is that normal?
No, that is not normal.
Do you want to put that animal, beast, insect onto that bit of cardboard?
Okay.
Careful it doesn't get loose in the house. So today we're in tomato emergency room, tomato ER, and we are tackling what can only be described as a stunted growth situation. My mum Delia has been called in, frankly using the lure of a roast dinner, but actually I'm here for tomato help. So what we're going to do is take out this polythene bag. It's a bin liner, so it's a big flat piece of plastic basically. Anything you can get would be great. And we're going to gently tip out the tomato plant, which is in quite a big pot now. It's been repotted and on it should be going, to just check its roots. Mum says roots are like the heart of a plant, so we're going to check that the roots are normal. I'm assuming they are, so let's find out. Oh my God. Okay.
There's no root. Now that root
That's weird.
should be out almost to the side of the pot by now.
This is a tomato plant, tomato variety called Alicante, which is a kind of big cherry tomato, small, normal
really
salad
worries
tomato. And what I've been growing for the last 3 months are these tomatoes from seed. Beautiful idea. They've had a lovely warm space on the kitchen windowsill. I replanted them, potted them out, I suppose is the word, isn't it, Mum? When you've had
That's
little
right.
seeds, you pot them out into bigger pots, thinking, right, off we go, they're going to run now. And actually they're not, they're a bit stunted and slow. Mum, is that normal?
No, that is not normal. A plant this size should have roots out here by now.
What, sort of like, it's
Can you see how that is, the tip of that is white there?
Yes.
That's how it should be, but by now it should be wide enough out to have little hairs growing out of those roots.
No wonder the plants aren't growing.
Exactly. Now, there are two things here. It might be that they're too wet.
Yeah. Do you think there's too much soil? Because it is really wet, isn't it?
It's very wet, but I honestly expected to find little vine weevils in here, which are like little white bugs, but I can't see anything. I can't see anything moving, and I can't see any problem at all.
I feel like a failure.
Shame.
What's this? Oh, it's a stone.
It's a stone, and you've done well. You've got a good compost here, and you've got lots of little bits of stone which will help the drainage. But it really is a mystery as to why there's no proper roots here. But that would account for the fact that it's not growing, wouldn't it?
But that's annoying though, isn't it?
Isn't it annoying? Absolutely.
I've made 49 tomato seedlings. Not all of them survive very well. And I gave some away. And I'm just going to look like a big disappointment in my local tomato growing community, aren't I? So my sister-in-law Gemma got a plant and went, oh, it's died. You've just got a plant, it'll die.
We'll see about that.
The ones on my shelf are
we?
not yielding any fruit. I was hoping by now my lettuces would be accompanied by my own tomatoes. But no.
Oh, what a
Weird.
shame.
So what would you advise anyone who's got a plant that's not really thriving or flourishing in a way that it should be?
The only thing you could do now is maybe put some little stone... Oh, hold on, what's that?
Hang on. Oh.
What we got here.
It's small and it's curly. Looks like a centipede or like a baby worm.
It's certainly not a worm, and it's certainly a pest that will eat roots.
Oh,
but
right.
it is the only one we've found so far.
It is, isn't it?
Which is very strange.
Oh, hang on. Is that another one? No, that's just a piece of... that's a bit of wine.
A little bit of...
wine cap. Okay. Shouldn't be in the compost. Oops.
But the compost looks good to me.
So we've had the compost seal of approval from Delia. Very good.
The only thing I
I'm
would
happy with
suggest
that.
is put some more drainage stones in amongst... Do you know what perlite is?
Yes, I do. I've got something similar. I've got some perlite.
There we are.
Oh, result. Right, here's some perlite and some compost, shop bought. So we've it's dry, basically, is the thing there. We're going to use a smaller pot. But do you know what? Everyone's been saying about how you've got to water tomatoes every day. So I've been watering the bloody tomatoes every day. Oh,
Maybe when they become tomatoes themselves, as opposed
okay, look,
to...
we've got some crocks to the right there, ready to go.
Okay.
So I can just... See, I've got them all ready to go. I'm quite professional like that, aren't I, Mum?
That's very good. I'm very impressed with the way you've stored them there.
So thanks, Mum. So where did you learn your gardening from? Is it just a case of doing, or had you just grown up with it with your parents
I grew up with it. I grew up as a little girl weeding a vegetable plot, having chases, having races with snails up and down the garden path with the little boy next door. Now that needs perlite. You should always mix with the compost.
Yeah, this is compost going in on top of the crocks, tamping it down a little bit. So that's your drainage,
Right.
but an extra bit of perlite. What is perlite anyway?
Perlite, it should be, as you can see, it's mixed here with compost, the little round bits of the perlite, and it helps the roots to move through the compost.
Speeds up rooting and reduces
that's-
the risk of damping off.
Yes.
Is that what's happened here, Mum?
I
Damping
think we've
off.
damped off the
Oh,
roots.
darling. That's no good, is it?
So what I would suggest is you put a handful in now of the perlite, and then a little bit more compost, and then just mix it up
all
together.
right. So we've filled the new pot a third of the way up. I'm going to do a little handful of perlite. It's quite powdery, chalky looking. What's it made of? Do you know?
I don't know.
I tell you what it's made of. It's a naturally occurring, non-toxic, neutral volcanic rock, heated to a
we
high temperature, which
go.
produces a lightweight microporous structure, Mum.
There we are.
There you
you
go.
see?
It feels like
And
polystyrene.
that's what the roots of that plant, of your plant, should look
Yes,
like,
yes,
isn't
I
it?
get the idea.
Right. So
Okay.
mix it as you're pushing them in. That's it. That's what it should look like.
Oh, nice. Okay. I will have tomatoes by tomorrow, won't we?
No. In a month's time,
A month.
maybe.
Okay.
Okay,
If
I would
for
suggest
example,
that's enough.
do you think?
Yes.
Do you not think we should fill up this pot a bit more, or is that
No.
all right?
You need to get this going now.
In it goes. I feel like it's been quite abused, this tomato plant.
Is that what it's telling you?
It's saying, "Help me! I don't know if I can survive."
It'll be
the
really
night."
interesting to see what this one does compared with the other ones, won't it?
Yeah, well, I'm very tempted to just get all the other ones and do the same. Actually, I'll do that tomorrow. I won't trouble you with such things. When I invited you over for roast dinner, and actually now I always do this though. I invite
very
my mum over for
delighted.
roast dinner or some such draw, and then end up getting you to do some sort of job that I can't do, like a sewing task. Okay, that needs a drink there,
Now,
doesn't it?
That has. Wants a drink, so I'll pop it on there.
Okay, that obviously the roots aren't going to reach the water in that saucer,
No, but the water's going to come up
is it?
through the compost, yes. It absorbs.
I didn't know it did that.
Yeah, of course it does.
I love the way that gardeners, you know what they're doing, going, of course it does. Often you think it's not, the roots aren't through the holes yet of the pot, so how are they going to get the water? But the water goes up through the compost.
Right, so you should always water from the base,
I knew
not
that.
from the top bit.
Oh.
That's why.
Now, okay, this has really changed a lot for me, because I know not to water leaves. There's no point pouring a watering can and spraying a leaf, because that's not going to help. But
That's right.
I've always gone to water
On the top of the soil.
top of the soil, because my assumption is the roots haven't quite raced to the bottom yet. Unless there's a basil plant that I've bought from the supermarket is on the windowsill, I'll lift that up and water the very bottom, because I think the roots can access the water. But now you're radically telling me this amazing new insight, which is the water will go up through the compost.
It's called absorption, I think.
Well, I think that's a great word for it, because it is really. So you're saying I shouldn't put any water on the top here?
No. No,
So this
just
is
water
pot
from the
stuff,
base.
but in the ground stuff, you've got no choice, have you? You water
No,
the
you will
hole
have to
before
water.
you put
That's
the
right,
plant
the soil,
in,
yes.
but then you just water on top, la-di-da.
In the same way the rain does.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But particularly at this stage, while it's still putting its roots out, it's needs water, but maybe a little bit more water than it's got in there anyway.
Yeah.
You could take the rainwater. Have you been using rainwater or tap water?
Tap water with Tomarite in it.
Right. Too early for Tomarite.
But my in-laws have said, no, you get your Tomarite in there.
Yeah, once it's
Right in there.
grown and you've got fruit setting, then you put your Tomarite in.
That's what its packet said, but okay, so I've really goofed it on many levels. I'm going to go to the water butt.
Okay.
Don't try and stop me.
If you're going to the water butt, why not take the tomato with you
Oh, yeah.
and then save you coming back, and I'll put these in the shed.
So when I first moved to London, I got my garden and my house that I bought. That was when my gardening excitement really took off.
Well, you learnt a lot there, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly about flower plants, weren't they? You didn't have many vegetables.
I had a 2 metre long bed that was about half to 3/4 of a metre deep, and that was it. And that the garden was in its entirety 5 metres long. So the lawn, the postage stamp of green stuff that I had just about accommodated Daisy's pink swing,
Yes.
and a little paddling pool. And I thought that was a big garden. Do you know what though?
You got here.
Yeah, until I got here.
Shall we empty this into here?
Yes, I will do that. Do you want to put that animal, beast, insect onto that bit of cardboard?
And go and ask Roger what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Careful it doesn't get loose in the house.
I don't think it would do a lot of harm.
It's, how long do you think it is? About half an inch?
When it's... Come on.
It's stuck on your finger.
No, I don't want it to drop off.
Careful it doesn't go inside you.
Inside me.
I had a dream once. Anyway.
I think I might have chopped in half there. Mind.
So my dad's inside. He doesn't move about that much at the moment. So he is the bug expert, and I'm hoping he'll be able to diagnose the problem. It could just be a one-off type insect rather than a plague through the compost. Anyway, I'm glad I've got the Delia a seal of approval for my compost. That's pleased me, actually. Everyone likes a bit of parental approval, don't they? And if you can get it through the medium of compost, then I'm all for it. Yeah, so we'll await the diagnosis on what's been eating the tomato plant. And fingers crossed, if it makes it through the night, I'll be happy. So what did he say?
Evidently this is a wireworm.
Oh.
But that's its name that we use.
Okay.
Obviously it's not the correct name, and we need to look it up in your gardening book for pests or whatever. Or maybe even Google it and find out what it's called.
Do we know what the hazards are around having and associating with wireworms?
Yes, they eat roots.
That's their job.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
What they develop into, I don't know. I'm interested to find out. So,
well, they've had a really good meal, haven't they, off these roots?
Well, that's right. If in fact that is what is causing the problem, it's either that or the little roots couldn't stretch out because it's just so wet, so heavy.
I just feel so bad.
When the fruit is set, then you water.
I killed them with love.
You did, which is easily done.
Gave them too much of a good thing, and they just never came back from it. Let's see.
Never mind. Let's see what this one does. It'll be really interesting to compare the crop, won't it?
She's a natural, isn't she, broadcaster?
Can I go?
You can go, yes.
Oh, right.
Do you remember you came onto the radio show with me and
With Sandy.
Sandy Toksvig?
Yes. Every time we watch QI, I think of that time.